Welcome to the weekly News Roundup. We move now to Spain, and the 16-day heat wave Spain suffered was the most intense on record, Spain's National Meteorological Agency said. With forest fires still burning across northern and western Spain, the AEMET Meteorological Agency said provisional readings for the August heat wave have exceeded the last record set in July 2022 and showed an average temperature 4.6 degrees Celsius higher than previous events. AEMET said a 10-day period from August 8th to August 17th was the hottest 10 consecutive days recorded in Spain since at least 1950. The August heat wave exacerbated tinderbox conditions that have fueled wildfires which have killed 4 people and forced thousands out of their homes. We bring you this report. More than 1,100 deaths in Spain have been linked to the August heat wave, according to an estimate released by the Carlos III Health Institute. The institute had already said that over 1,000 deaths in July could be attributed to excess heat, a 50% rise on the figure for July 2024. Firefighters and waterbombing planes from 9 European countries have been helping Spanish emergency services. Last week, the Spanish army deployed 3,400 troops and 50 aircraft to help firefighters, while the Czech Republic, Finland, France, Germany, the Netherlands, and Slovakia also send hundreds of firefighters, vehicles, and aircraft. Scientists say climate change is driving longer, more intense, and more frequent heat waves worldwide. The agency said that it is a scientific fact that current summers are hotter than in previous decades. Fires burning in northern regions have destroyed more than 8,65,000 acres in the past weeks, and a record of more than 9 lakh acres since the start of the year. Authorities say they are only now starting to control the fires. Hundreds of people are still kept away from their homes, though many have started returning. Most of southern Europe is experiencing one of its worst wildfire seasons in 2 decades. Europe has been warming twice as fast as the global average since the 1980s, according to the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service. Heat waves and dry conditions, which scientists link to climate change, have become more frequent across the world in recent years. The World Health Organization has warned that with climate change leading to warmer temperatures and drier conditions, and the increasing urbanization of rural areas, the fire season is starting earlier and ending later. The UN also added, saying, wildfire events are getting more extreme in terms of acres burnt, duration, and intensity, and they can disrupt transportation, communications, water supply, and power and gas services. Chinese President Xi Jinping is hosting Russian President Vladimir Putin and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a show of solidarity amid US President Donald Trump's tariff threats. The summit, being held in Tianjin, China, aims to present a united front against US policies and showcase a shift toward a more multipolar world order, experts noted. Amid the raging trade war, the face-off between BRICS nations and US President Donald Trump is set to intensify. As Chinese President Xi Jinping rolled out the red carpet for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Russian President Vladimir Putin and several leaders from Central Asia, the Middle East, South Asia, and Southeast Asia at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the SCO summit. Experts pointed out that while bloc expansion will be a key focus, the mega event will also serve as Xi Jinping's way of showing the US a mirror of the emerging New World Order. We bring you this report. The gathering will be held just days before Beijing stages one of its largest military parades in years. A move seen as a show of strength amid an increasingly volatile global order, and at a time when US President Donald Trump's foreign and trade policies, including on Israel, Gaza, and tariffs, are pushing many nations closer to Beijing. The SCO, which has grown to include 10 permanent members and 16 observer countries, reflects the increasing importance of these forums for regional and global cooperation. Despite its expanding membership, the SCO faces challenges in delivering substantial cooperation outcomes. Nevertheless, its role in projecting collective interests against US policies remains significant. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian will be attending alongside Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who will host Trump and ASEAN leaders later in October. While the summit is poised to enhance collaboration among its members, it also serves as a platform for India and China to ease tensions after years of border disputes. Experts say that it's likely New Delhi will swallow its pride and put this year's SCO problems behind it in a bid to maintain momentum in the detente with China. The expectation at the summit is for India and China to announce measures such as troop withdrawals and the easing of trade and visa restrictions. At last year's SCO summit in Astana, leaders pledged enhanced cooperation on counterterrorism, renewable energy, and digital economies. Such steps could pave the way for broader cooperation in fields like climate change. This year's summit, the largest since the SCO's inception in 2001 and the fifth time that China has hosted the summit, is anticipated to further the bloc's influence in global affairs. A Chinese foreign ministry official described the SCO as an important force in building a new type of international relations. The Tianjin summit will conclude with the signing and release of the Tianjin Declaration, outlining the members' shared commitments for the future. We move now to the United States, and in a shocking incident in Minnesota, 2 children aged 8 and 10 were gunned down as they prayed during the opening Holy Mass in the church at the Annunciation Catholic School, a Catholic school in Minneapolis, last week. They were killed by an assailant who sprayed bullets through the church windows. Police Chief Brian O'Hara said 17 others were injured, including 14 children aged between 6 and 14. The 3 injured adults were all parishioners in their 80s. The assailant, dressed in black and armed with a rifle, shotgun, and a pistol, died by suicide in the parking lot behind Annunciation Catholic Church, the police chief said during a news conference in Minneapolis. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said, "It was the first day of school. They were in a church. These kids were literally praying. They should be able to go to school or church without the risk of fear or violence." We bring you this report. The suspected murderer was identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman of a nearby Minneapolis suburb, and authorities are still investigating possible motives. Westman left behind a video with a manifesto timed to post on YouTube after the shooting. That was a melange of rambling statements and references to his depression and thoughts of suicide. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said, "Robin Westman died at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The material seemed to show the shooter at the scene and included some disturbing writings, and that content has since been taken down with the assistance of the FBI, O'Hara said. The videos were removed at the request of law enforcement. O'Hara described the grim tableau at the school. 2 more children remain in critical condition and 14 of the injured are children, according to O'Hara. He described the attack as an incomprehensible act of cowardice. During the mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the mass, O'Hara said. Dating to 1923, the school serves pre-kindergarten through 8th grade students. Its website listed an all-school mass for 8:15 a.m. on Wednesday. The first day of school was Monday, August 25th, and social media photographs showed children in green uniforms at bicycle racks greeting classmates and smiling for cameras. US President Donald Trump said he has been fully briefed on the tragic shooting in Minneapolis. The FBI quickly responded and they are on the scene, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. The White House will continue to monitor this terrible situation. He added, saying, "Please join me in praying for everyone involved." On Wednesday afternoon, Mr. Trump signed a proclamation calling for flags at the White House and other federal buildings to be flown at half-staff as a mark of respect for the victims. The White House flags were lowered moments after the proclamation was signed. Police said Westman is believed to be the only suspect in the shooting. Westman does not appear to have an extensive or known criminal history, police said. According to online posts from the church, Robin Westman's mother worked at the church until 2021. Minneapolis police were already investigating 3 deadly shootings in the city within the previous 12 hours. According to the department, 1 person was killed and 6 wounded Tuesday afternoon outside a high school. 2 more people died in separate shootings hours later. The level of gun violence across the city within the last day is deeply unsettling, the department said in a release. The attack at Annunciation was the city's 4th deadly shooting in less than 24 hours. We move now to Vietnam in Asia, where Typhoon Kajiki and the flooding it triggered have killed 8 people, including 1 in Thailand and 7 in Vietnam, authorities said, with the Vietnamese government warning of more flash floods and mudslides to come. Kajiki is the 5th typhoon to hit Vietnam this year and the most powerful, having sustained its intensity as it churned towards the coast. Authorities said that more than 500,000 people have been evacuated and boats have been ordered to remain in port. Authorities in Vietnam's central provinces activated emergency measures which included the evacuation of around 587,000 people. They banned fishing vessels from leaving shore and secured dams and flood walls. The storm, which made landfall in Vietnam before weakening into a depression, has since caused widespread flooding and landslides in both Vietnam and Thailand. We bring you this report. Heavy rains have caused floods and landslides in 8 provinces in Thailand, affecting more than 180 households. Thailand's Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation said on Wednesday. In Vietnam, Kajiki and its associated flooding have damaged and inundated more than 10,000 homes and offices, as well as more than 86 hectares of rice and cash crops, the Vietnamese government said in a statement. The government officials had compared the typhoon to Typhoon Yagi, the most powerful storm to hit the region last year, which devastated Vietnam's north, killing about 300 people and causing widespread damage to infrastructure, factories, and farmland. It has also knocked down electricity poles, resulting in blackouts that directly affect 1.6 million people, mostly in Hattin and Na En provinces, the statement added. Streets in Hanoi have also been severely flooded as heavy rain continued in the capital city, which is preparing to host the country's largest National Day parade in decades as it celebrates the 80th anniversary of its Declaration of Independence. More than 3 lakh military personnel were mobilized with the Navy, Coast Guard and Air Force on standby for rescue operations, the news agency reported. The National Weather Forecast Agency said heavy rain will continue to hit northern provinces, with some areas likely to get up to 70 millimeters in 3 to 6 hours. Flash floods and landslides can happen, negatively impacting the environment, threatening people's lives and causing damages to production and socio-economic activities, the agency said. Before making landfall in Vietnam, Kajiki skirted the southern coast of China's Hainan on Sunday, forcing the resort city of Sanya on the island province to close businesses and public transport. More than 40,000 people had been evacuated in low-lying coastal communities, according to the state-run VN Express. 2 airports in Thanh Hoa and Hoan Binh provinces have been closed, according to the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam. Vietnam Airlines and Vietjet cancelled dozens of flights to and from the area. There are fears that the torrential rain and winds from Kajiki will inundate farms and villages in the storm's path, destroying crops and killing livestock. Residents and business owners have boarded up windows and stacked sandbags outside homes, restaurants and hotels, according to images posted by state media. We move now to the story of Donny Yaipen, a young Peruvian singer and songwriter. Donny has composed a song called La Cumbia del Papa, which is a tribute to Pope Leo XIV. The music video has gone viral worldwide, garnering more than 2.6 million views. This song in Spanish by Donny Yaipen is performed to the catchy rhythm of cumbia, La Cumbia del Papa, which translates as the cumbia of the Pope. Cumbia is a Colombian style of dance music similar to salsa. In 2015, Pope Leo took Peruvian nationality so that he could fully exercise his office as bishop in accordance with local law. Donny Yaipen is a specialist in cumbia, which originated in the Caribbean tradition of Afro-Colombian communities and has gradually spread throughout Latin America from Mexico to Argentina. We bring you this report.
Donny Yaipen met Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican. This was when he went as part of his first international solo tour of Europe. It was very emotional, the singer said, after sharing that Pope Leo XIV gave him his blessing. It's worth mentioning that both the artist and the Pope share a strong connection with the city of Chiclayo. While Pope Leo lived there for years as a missionary, Donny was born in the same city and took his first steps in music. This connection is reflected in the song's chorus, which proclaims, "We give thanks to God because the Pope is Peruvian, he is from Chiclayo, he is Pope Leon." From his first appearance on May 8th, when Pope Leo XIV addressed a personal message to his dear Diocese of Chiclayo in Peru, where a faithful people accompanied their bishop, shared their faith and gave so much to remain a church faithful to Jesus Christ. These few words, totally unexpected, moved the Peruvian people deeply. It was very moving for all the people of Chiclayo and northern Peru who remember him, explains Donny Yaipen. Donny says he wrote this song, La Cumbia del Papa, so that people could get closer to God through dancing and singing. He said many people who don't usually go to church could hear about God and the Pope.
Una mano para arriba, la otra para arriba y le damos gracias a Dios, porque el Papa es peruano, es chiclayano, él es el Papa León. Una mano para arriba, la otra para arriba y le damos gracias a Dios, porque el Papa es peruano, es chiclayano, él es el Papa León. Una mano para arriba, la otra para arriba y le damos gracias a Dios, porque el Papa es peruano, es chiclayano, él es el Papa León.
Thanks so much for watching. Until we meet next time, stay blessed.